just plain beans, red beans, black beans, pinto beans, any of that would be great. While I'm waiting for that to cook, I'm going to go ahead and drain this orzo, which is ready. These little strainers are very handy because you don't burn yourself. A lot of us old school cooks go into the kitchen and we just put the lid back on the pot and tip it towards ourselves and get a little bit of a steam facial that way at the same time. However, that is kind of dangerous because if you accidentally pour that hot water on you, you're going to be very severely burned. So I recommend using something just like this. And you don't have to get all of the water out of this pasta because it's going to be served with a sauce. So you can just take a plate and set over there like so, and that will stay nice and steamy warm. Now let's check on our chicken and our vegetables, which smell amazing. Yeah, that's done. Those are done. So I'm going to take the chicken out and set it next to my bacon because it's all going back in here. And now I'm going to add my palmy natural chopped tomatoes. And again, the reason I'm using this is because it's easier than chopping my own tomatoes, and there's no salt added and these are all natural. So now that we have the sauce to this point, we're going to add just a little bit more Italian seasoning to it. And I like to buy the one with the grinder in the top because then you can grind it very coarse and it just adds to the flavor. And what you're going to do is you're just going to stir this up a little bit, and then we're going to take this bacon and we're going to crunch it up and we're going to add it to this tomato mixture, and it's going to be so tasty. This is a great way to pack vegetables into a meal for somebody who maybe doesn't like vegetables that much. All those tomatoes, the peppers, the onion, things that they're not normally going to want to eat. It's going to be very cleverly hidden in this sauce. The bacon gives it an amazing flavor, gives it, you don't want to put the big fatty pieces in there because again, those are things that are going into your body. So we'll just take those out and leave them to the side. So we're going to take the rest of this bacon, everything we've got that looks good, we're going to crumble it up in here, and then we're going to add our chicken. We're going to turn the heat down, cover it. Just let me grab this. We're going to turn our heat down and cover it after we've set this in here to finish cooking. And then we're just going to let it cook. And we're going to simmer. Now we're going to get out our appetizer plate and we're going to sit down and we're going to enjoy that together. By the time we're finished with that, this will all be ready. All of the flavors of the spices will be infused into our sauce and we'll be ready to have the main course. The rule of any great meal is to have a fabulous dessert. Well, you've eaten bacon already, so you want to really cut the fat grams in this dessert. So I'm making what is actually a fat-free dessert, and we're going to start with this strawberry sauce. I am adding some cornstarch, just a little bit of cornstarch, about a quarter of a teaspoon to this about half cup of sugar. And this is the trick. You need to mix this really good while it's dry. It needs to be mixed very well, otherwise you'll have those little cornstarch lumps and you don't want any of that. Then what we're going to do is I put about the same amount of water in this pan, and I'm just going to add that to it, and then I'm going to put it on the flame, and we're going to turn that up a little bit, and we're going to get this all mixed together very nice, and we're going to bring this to a boil. Then we are going to add our strawberries and let that cook. You'll notice as you're stirring this sugar and water mixture that it will become clear. And as soon as it begins to boil a little bit, you just want to add your fruit. So what we're going to do, this is the simplest fruit sauce you'll ever make. You want to save a little bit of this over after dessert. If there's anything left, put it on your oatmeal in the morning. It's really fantastic there. And it substitutes for sugar and gives you another fruit serving. As your strawberry sauce begins to boil, you'll notice that the color of the strawberry starts to infuse into the water, and it starts to smell like warm, fresh cooked strawberries. It's an amazing smell, and this is an amazing flavor. And the nice thing about this dessert is even though you're adding another serving of fruit, in the strawberries and you're adding some sugar, we're not adding any fat. In fact, the entire dessert is completely fat-free, which is a major bonus if you're watching your weight. Now, because this dessert is fat-free, doesn't mean that you can eat a ton of it. We're going to limit our portion size as well, and that's how we're going to balance this meal. Now that this is boiling and cooking, we're just going to let that simmer for about 4 minutes and let it cook and thicken up really nicely. When we come back, we're going to make the dessert. It's a variation of Mexican fried ice cream, which you can make in your own kitchen. And a little secret, it's not fried either. We've already made our strawberry sauce for the dessert, so now we're going to put the finishing touches on everything. We're going to take this frozen yogurt. Now this is fat-free, and this is really gooey because, as you can imagine, there are studio lights and it's a little warm in here. But this is the basic concept. You take a scoop of frozen yogurt and you roll it in graham cracker crumbs. And these, I've just added about a tablespoon of sugar, so we just have a teeny bit of sugar. And what we want to do is we're going to make this, it's going to taste kind of like a cheesecake, only it's fat-free. Now keep in mind that this is very warm. What I'm going to do, normally I would take this and put it on the plate and put it back in the freezer for a few minutes so that it firms up very nice. But for the purposes of today's show, I'm just going to wipe my hands off and I'm going to show you how we plate this. I'm going to move this frozen yogurt over here. So we're just going to plate this, and we're going to start with some chocolate sauce. And if you look at the back label of some chocolate sauce, you'll see that it's all fat-free. So I'm just going to put a little chocolate on there. Then what I'm going to do is add just a little bit of my strawberry sauce right on the bottom of the plate here. I'm just using my ice cream scoop because that's what I had available. Now I'm going to take some of this whipped cream and I'm going to spray it on there. And I'm going to set the ball right in the center, like so. Now this is awful warm. I'm going to put a little more whipped cream on the top, and then I'm going to put some chocolate on it. And there it is, all of the flavors on the plate. You have the chocolate, you have the strawberry, you have the vanilla yogurt, you have your whipped cream, and you have your graham cracker crumbs, all on one plate, all fat-free. So it's totally guilt-free as well. There's your dessert, the end of your beautiful 3-course restaurant-style meal. We're going to get this all cleaned up, and then we're going to enjoy some of this amazing food that we've made today. So this is our beautiful, fantastic appetizer plate. This is finger food. What you're going to do is you're going to pull these out and eat these with your hands. And it's so crunchy and fantastic. You want to sit, the reason I've put this on one plate together is because you want to sit close to each other. This is going to force the interaction between the two of you. You're sharing food off the same plate. You're going to be running into each other on the plate. You want to eat it. It's so good. Crunchy and fresh. Amazing. Okay, so you're going to serve this, again, sitting very close to each other so you can enjoy each other's company. Then I'm going to take my bowl of pasta and I'm going to plate the main course. This is so good. Your orzo is all fresh and wonderful. And I'm going to, if it gets a little sticky, no problem, just crunch it up a little bit. And because this is my plate, that's about the serving size I want. I'm going to take some of this amazing bacon and tomato infused sauce and put on the top. And then here is my piece of chicken right on the top. Now you could put some feta cheese or Parmesan, mozzarella, anything, whatever one you like, but there is your finished dish. Altogether, it's less than about 6 grams of fat. Next, we're going to pull out the dessert and taste it. It's so yummy. Now it's time to taste this amazing fat-free dessert. Now keep in mind, just because it's fat-free doesn't mean it's free day. You still have to get some exercise in because you are taking in some calories. And this is, if you'll look at this, you'll see that it's exactly like fried ice cream. It's healthy, it's fat-free, and you're using yogurt here, so you're getting all the health value of yogurt instead of ice cream. If you go to a restaurant and order Mexican fried ice cream, it's always ice cream or frozen yogurt, and it's rolled in something. Corn flakes. I chose graham cracker crumbs here just to accentuate the flavor of the strawberry sauce. But this is the way they do Mexican fried ice cream in the restaurant, is they take your ice cream and they roll it in something. So it's actually not deep fried, and it can actually be quite healthy. It's an incredible fat-free ending to an amazing meal. There you have it. It's an amazing 3-course restaurant quality meal that you can enjoy in the privacy of your own home as a couple. For these recipes and variations of these recipes, go to my website, janicecooksforcouples.com. Thanks so much for watching. The food is fresh, fast, and healthy. All you add is love.